This is Mark Parham, Capital Talk Radio Show here at the Platform Summit with the one and only Calvin Vismale. We ran each other this morning. We're talking about changing the world. Calvin, how are you enjoying the summit, man?
I'm enjoying the summit very much. This is, I think, a timely, meaningful gathering that will get legs and a lot of traction because it's the right thing at the right time, and it's scalable.
Yeah, it is scalable. I think it's. I've enjoyed it here, even the speaker, just on all different topics, and we're not over yet. What are some of the takeaways yesterday when you were here that you walked out of here, things that may have changed the way you thought or enhanced the way that you thought about things?
One of the main things that enhanced the way I thought is that here is a convening and a gathering of like-minded people who are open to collaboration and bring to the table their expertise and their experiences and are willing to share them with others in an open way and allowing them to take away what is useful to them. And that was refreshing.
Yeah, what's really refreshing is that it's here on Morehouse's campus.
Well, obviously, Mark, that's something that really warms my heart.
Yeah.
Since you did bring that into the forefront, I think it's really important that, what we do here on this hill and what we have done since 1867 is unique. And it's unique because of the convening, intellectual, cultural convening of black men in a institution of higher learning only takes place one place on the planet. And that's right here. Only one place on the planet, and that is right here. And Dr. Wilson, John Wilson, who was a year behind me in school, who I sat in some classes with, has a big enough vision, and he is mission-oriented to have Morehouse make its contribution to the world. And by having the platform here this year and also next year, I think is going to be significant to our community worldwide.
It is going to be significant. What else is significant is some of the things that you're doing, to strengthen our community. Let's talk about just a couple of things, some of the visions that you have about going forward in the future for our community.
Well, what I truly believe is that we have all we need to get what we want. We talk about, in many cases, access to capital. We need to access our own capital, and we have significant amounts of capital. And we need to, and we will. And I'm encouraged that this evolutionary process is irreversible, and that we will connect the dots. And that's what I try to contribute to: connecting of the dots, as opposed to reinventing any wheels, and connecting the dots and translating and transforming our consumer power into investable dollars that are aligned collaboratively and cooperatively to create wealth that's intergenerationally transferable within our community. And that's how we'll make a difference, and we'll become global players.
That's the only way we can make a difference.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other way.
There's 7 principles of what I call a basic fundamental hermeneutics of investments and finance that I think are teachable, and I try to impart these when I can. And they're teachable to anyone with a 3rd grade education. And I consider them basic building blocks that you can use to transform your life. I think also we have to put on top of that a framework that's open architecture where everybody can participate in a way that all of our collective economic interests are aligned such that we can come up quickly. And I think that is what is before us as opportunities here. We've always had the intellectual capital. The question is, how do we create the vehicles so that we can collectively benefit from the intellectual capital that we've always had? Innovation, creativity, those things are in our DNA. Always have been.
Always have been.
I was talking to a young man yesterday as we were going to reception for the platform, and over in Georgia Tech, and there was an old cream and gold colored Model T Ford in the foyer as you first come into the convention center. And the gentleman said, "What is that? Is that some Model T Ford?" And I said, "Trivia question: who designed the interior of the Model T Ford?" You know who designed the interior of the Model T Ford? George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was the intellectual nucleus for much of what took place that we know of in the United States as the Industrial Revolution.
I see a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, he really, and 95% of his patents are owned by one of these iconic industrial families. We think of him as we relate to George Washington Carver, the peanut and the sweet potato.
Right.
George Washington Carver he may have been one of the most brilliant people who has ever been born.
Wow. But he's not, you're right. We're talking about the peanut and the sweet potato. We don't know any of the other stuff.
We fail to know any of his industrial contributions to the United States of America and our technological advantages that we've had. In addition to no-cost labor, we also have contributed to American society the intellectual capital,
right,
beyond the cotton gin. Right. I mean, but there's so many inventions that we have contributed.
All right, man. Well, I know as soon as you're starting back up, I don't want to hold you from any of these festivities.
Well, Mark Parham, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Anytime I can have a chance to share with you, it's a good time.
All right, my brother. All right, thanks a lot, man.
Good work.
All right.
Thank you.